Hello everyone, I hope you are all doing well. So I first and foremost wanted to say that I apologize that I posted no videos last week. If you're a subscriber, you might have noticed that, but just I had a lot of schoolwork, a lot of life stuff, and it just kind of got a hold of me, and I didn't get the chance to post any videos. But the week you're watching this is actually finals weeks for my summer classes, so hopefully I have a month of being able to post regularly. I hope so, and then at the end of August, I'm moving, so I will have my own room so I can film at any time of day. Whereas right now, I live with my mom and brother, and I can't really film whenever I want. But anyways, I just wanted to play around with some new makeup, mainly Charlotte Tilbury focused because I just got my first ever order from Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm so excited. I played with almost all the items yesterday, and I'm so impressed with everything. Then I'll just also feature whatever other new products I have. I apologize if I do a lot of these and trying new makeup videos, but I just have been getting so much stuff in that I just want to showcase because it's fun to play with makeup. But anyways, I hope you will subscribe because I post 2 to 3 times a week, as I said before, and let's just get on into the video. I have these two primers in my project pan. It's the Hello Fab Pores Be Gone Matte Primer and the Bite Beauty Changemaker Skin Optimizing Primer, so I'm going to use both of those. I'm going to start off with the Bite one because it's more hydrating. I'm just going to put that all over. This looks so red. I don't know why. It wasn't red at all today, but now it decided to flare up. So I'm just going to put this all over my skin, and then I'll use the First Aid Beauty one in targeted areas, which I'm so sad. First Aid Beauty just started selling in China, so they are no longer cruelty-free, which makes me really upset because I was just about to try a bunch of their skincare, and I wanted to try their sunscreen, but money gets the best of people, and I'm really disappointed in them. It's just so sad to see people move backwards. Then I'm just going to take the matte primer, just like this much. I don't really need to be putting this on right now because it is the end of the day, but I'm just going to be putting it on my nose just because I've never tried it on my nose because I'm worried it'll be too drying. And then also the pores like right next to my nose. And don't worry, my skin just gets red because it's sensitive and I'm touching it. Okay, I moved you guys in and I went ahead and clipped my hair back. I'm going to use the Kosas Tinted Face Oil just because I haven't used this in a video, I don't think. I have the shade 3. I seriously love this stuff so much. It's become my new holy grail foundation, but I'm just going to start with that much and just use my fingers and spread it around my face. I might go in with a little bit more, but I don't want to take out too much of the bottle because you can't put it back in. Just going in with a few more drops to cover up my forehead and then put some additional coverage on my cheeks. And also, I say this every time, but if I'm looking down here, it's just because that's where I have my mirror and also the table with all my products, so I'm not trying to ignore you guys. Okay, so as you can see, it doesn't cover everything. You can still see this blaring red pimple. I don't know what's going on with that, but it still has really good coverage for what I want in an everyday foundation, and I like it because it's so thin. I've just realized that sometimes even my ColourPop Pretty Fresh, it's just too thick. I like really thin layers of foundation on the skin because I don't want it to look like I'm wearing foundation, and I just want it to look like skin, and this does an amazing job. I would recommend applying with your fingers because it is more oily, but I think it could work for a lot of different skin types. I talk about this more in my makeup haul. I want to say my June makeup haul, so if you want to hear my thoughts on that, I would go there, but I'm really enjoying this. I didn't put as much as I normally do. Normally it covers the redness on my cheeks a little bit more, but I'm just going to go in with concealer to color that. Not color. But next I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury, doesn't have the name on it, but it's just their color corrector. I have the shade 1 Fair. I have not used it yet, but this is what it looks like. And I'm really excited because I was going to get the Becca one, but this one has a bit better of a shade range compared to the Becca one. The Becca one has 2 shades, and while this one only has 3, I think both shades could have worked for me. That's how bad the shade range is. So I'm just going to put a little of that under the eyes. I've noticed, especially since I like thin layers of concealer too, sometimes it's just not enough for me to do a tiny bit. So I'm hoping this will help out. It's applying really thin, and it's not like caking to my dry patches at all. This is the only product in this video that I haven't tried, so I'll give you guys my opinions on everything, but this looks just really thin. Like, you can't see it on the skin, but it still has like canceled out some of that blueness. It's not completely because I didn't apply that much, but I'm gonna go ahead and go in with a little bit more on my inner corners but I really like that. It is a bit pricey, but I got a sale. I got all the Charlotte Tilbury products, and for free I got the Darling palette. So I snagged that up as soon as I saw the sale. And I had a conversation with actually a few of my followers on Instagram about Charlotte Tilbury and whether or not people are supporting them due to inclusivity. Generally, people are okay with Charlotte Tilbury, but they still are a little bit uneasy with some of their products. I'm just going in with the Kosas concealer. This is the shade 3 on my cheeks, and then I'll go in with the shade 2. That was actually a little bit too much. But anyways, most people that replied, I think I did like a little poll, and almost everyone said they were either in the middle or on the high end. There are a few people that said they were no longer supporting them, but for the most part people are. And then the people that DM'd me wondering like what's happening, they said they're still going to support Charlotte Tilbury, but you know, if they continue to prove that if in their future releases they're not going to cater to every skin type, then they're going to stop supporting them, which is kind of where I'm at with most brands, because I don't know, I don't want to cancel them right away. I'm holding them more so accountable, and again, it's not my apology to accept. But that's just where I'm at right now. And everyone, I would suggest making your own opinion on all of this, because you know, what you buy, that's your money, not mine to tell you what to do with it. So definitely do your own research and form your own opinions about what you think is right, but personally I'm a little bit okay right now with supporting the brand. So I'm just going to take the shade 2 under my eyes. I actually put way too much on my cheeks for what I normally do. I've been loving this concealer, using it with my fingers. I used this with a beauty blender and a brush, and I thought it was an okay concealer, but it looked a little bit thick. But when I use my fingers, I can use a really little amount, but still get good coverage because it's not being soaked up. Versus with a beauty blender, you have to use more, and I just find it looks a little bit cakey. So the shade 3 is a little bit dark on me, but I got shade 2 as well. So I used shade 3 to cover up and then shade 2 to brighten a little bit, and in the end it looks okay. On camera it might not look the best, but I've been doing this in person almost every day and it's looked fine. Okay, so that is kind of the base. As you can see, like, you can still see my redness. This spot isn't going away, I'm sorry. I don't know what to do with it, but this is what I really like for every day. I don't want to look flawless, I just want to look a little bit more put together, I guess. So I really enjoy that, except this spot is just making me angry for no reason. Let's try. I have my NARS Soft Matte, which has a bit more coverage. This isn't cruelty free or new, but I'm just going to take it on a little brush and just stamp it on and hope that it goes away. Okay, so I have a new cream bronzer. I have the Tower 28 Bronzino, but I wanted to feature the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer, so I'm not sure if I want to go in with the Bronzino, just because it's not going to give you guys like a good view of what this looks like. I might do a Tower 28 brand review, but I don't have the blushes, so I don't really know. I have the lip glosses, the Bronzino, and the spray, so when I do get the blushes, I'll do a review. But if you guys want to see this on a get ready with me, let me know, but I'm going to skip it for today just because that is a color that I don't know if it'll match with the Charlotte Tilbury one. The Bronzino color is more like a sunburny color on me, and it's a bit more natural. It's not going to give you a heavy bronze or anything like that, so I'm going to skip it. I'm going to go in with a little bit of my Fenty Butter Bronzer in shade 2 and just put this on, just because I normally like to layer my bronzers with cream and powder anyways. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this on, not a ton, and it's not going to give me a heavy bronze just because I'm not putting a ton on. But just to use that. This isn't super new, just like that much, not that much at all. I don't have any super new cream blushes either, but I'm just going to take Nude Sticks Bareback just because this will match whatever look I'm going in with, and I'll layer a cream on top. I'm just going in, I haven't been telling you guys what brushes I've been using, but this is the Zoeva 128 Cream Cheek, and I'm just going to put that a little bit of that on my cheek. This is a really light blush that kind of goes with whatever. In my opinion, it's not going to give you a super blushy look. I mean, you could always layer it up, but at least on my skin tone, it's not going to be a vibrant color, even though on camera it looks a little bit like that. But this is what I wear when I don't know what cream cheek to go with, or if I just don't want to be super blushy. And it's a really pretty color, but it's definitely not one I use all the time because I've been obsessed with some of my other blushes. And then I'm going to set my under eyes with, of course, my Bite Change Maker powder in Light 1. It had a sale on this where you could get it for $10 if you spent $35. I was so tempted because I kind of want to get the shade 2 in case I ever get tan or get a backup, but I didn't do it. If anything, during the Sephora VIP sale, I'll pick up another one, but this has become my favorite under eye powder because it doesn't make me feel like I'm getting greasy throughout the day, which in this Florida heat, it's very easy to feel greasy, but it still sets and looks super flawless and doesn't take away too much of the shine. And that First Aid Beauty powder, or not powder, that First Aid Beauty primer isn't making my nose look super dry or anything, so that's really nice. Although it's not like I'm going to repurchase it anyways because it's not cruelty-free. I also forgot about highlights, so I'm just going to go in a little bit with my Kosas 8th Muse. This is in my project pan, and just put a little bit of the cream on before I powder my cheeks. I'm going to powder it just so that the powder on top doesn't pick up on anything, and just because that's what I've been doing normally to keep my makeup lasting all day. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that on. This is a highlight that will definitely make you look like sweaty and glowy. I really like it, but it isn't for everyone, I know that. Those creams in general are just really glowy and they can get really emollient. I'm going with my Hourglass Mineral Veil Powder, I want to say it's called, and just taking a little bit of that and just dusting it on my cheeks, just so that way when I put on the bronzer and everything, you guys can get a good idea of what it actually looks like in case it picks up on the creams, which it didn't yesterday when I wore this, but I'm still really new to the product and I want you guys to get a good idea of how it sits. Again, not new and in my project pan, I'm going to take my Benefit Hoola on my neck because this is the only way I really use it because I like to use my other powder bronzers and just powder my neck because I feel like my face is not matching my neck today, and I think it's because of the concealer. I normally put a lot less of the shade 3 and this was way too much. And then finally go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer in shade 2. I think Fair would have worked for me, but it would be similar to the Kosas one where it gives a very natural bronze and believable bronze. But this one, now that I've tried it, it looks a lot lighter than it does online, and I think this is still a good bronzer for me, but I have to be a little bit more careful not to go super overboard. But especially as I get tanner, I think this will work, and the formula is so light. Like, it never picks up so much powder on my brush. It just is airbrushed, and I really, really like the formula. I believe it's a very similar formula to their under eye setting powder, the one that everyone talks about. So again, like, it doesn't look detectable on the skin, which some people don't like, and if you don't, definitely err on the side of darker, if that makes sense. Like, if you're debating between two shades and you like a intense bronzer or you don't like something subtle, go with the one that's more intense, because I personally feel like this isn't even super intense on me. Also, keep in mind that I'm not using natural lighting, so this isn't the best idea of what the color looks like. I'm using artificial because it is, I actually don't know what time it is, but I think it's like 7, so I have my window shut because the sun is setting soon. I personally think it looks really pretty and natural. Like, it doesn't look detectable at all on the skin. I can't see a powder on it, and I think if you normally don't like powders, you would still like this because it is completely undetectable on my skin, even where the color is placed, especially with the type of brush I use, which is the Real Techniques blush brush. It just looks really natural on my skin. Like, I can't detect where it starts and ends. It is expensive. It's $55 US, but you get so much product. I think I was looking at this and the Fenty one, because the Fenty one is about $40 and this one's about $50, but this one you get a lot more product in it, so to me it's worth it. And I also love the packaging. It is refillable if you go through it, and so that creates less waste. I was also concerned about the shade range because I don't want to purchase something if everyone can't use it. I know the fair shade works on really fair people. I know Kim's Beauty Journal, I believe is her username, on Instagram. She's really fair and she has the fair shade and loves it. And The deepest shade I believe is comparable to Fenty's deepest bronzer shade. Fenty has a lot more bronzers that'll fit different undertones of people, which means it is a wider range. But in my opinion, I don't know for sure, but I believe Charlotte Tilbury still has a good range from really light to really dark. But again, I'm not sure. I need to look at reviews of people with a deeper skin tone, but just from what some research and reading I've done, that's what I've gathered. So I'm really enjoying this bronzer. If you're on the fence about it, or if you want it but you just haven't pulled the trigger, I think you will love this. If you like, I don't know, if you just like bronzer, it's really nice. Okay, now for blush, I have the Cover FX monochromatic blush in Soft Peach. I've been loving this blush lately. It's so pretty. I dip into the matte and shimmery side, and it is pigmented, which some people, if you're really fair, don't like. I know Khaki Reviews Beauty doesn't like that about it because you can't really control the pigmentation of it. It's kind of just pigmented, and she likes more sheer blushes where you can kind of work with the pigmentation. But personally, especially with this shade, since it is so light, I love it so much. And I know the blushes have a larger shade range. There's still room for expansion in their powder and liquid bronzers, which is really sad to see because it's like, it's 2020. But this blush is beautiful, I will have to admit. Again, the coloring on my skin is really off today. I don't really know what happened, but just ignore that. I'm going to go in with my Becca Champagne Pop Highlighter. This isn't new, and you will see in an upcoming Project Pan update because I did add it in, but I just want to get a little bit of use out of it, so just going to put a little bit on. I don't know. Highlighter isn't really my thing lately. I've loved blush and bronzer, but highlighter, honestly, I could skip most days and be completely fine. Which, 2018 makeup world would cry about that because everyone was into highlighters, but now I feel like everyone is into blushes. I don't know, 2020 is the year of the blush and the year of cream. I'm going to go in with my ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Setting Mist. This isn't that new to me, but I don't think I've featured this in a video, but I'm just going to set before I do my eyeshadow to let all of those powders sink into my skin. I've gotten a lot of new eyeshadows and I'm a little bit overwhelmed. Not that, because I love everything, but I have a lot. But these are the two new Charlotte Tilbury things I have. I have the Rose Gold Cream Eyeshadow and the Darling Eyeshadow Palette. This palette, I was like, okay, I'll use it because it's free, but like, I'm not going to be head over heels with it. I love this so much. I thought it was going to be a lot warmer, but it is warm, but it still has that pinkiness to it, and I love it. It's so pretty. I've only played with it a little bit, so I'm so excited to get more wear out of that. I think I'm going to go in with the cream though, just because this is what I was most excited about. I wore this yesterday, and I really enjoyed it, so I'm just going to take a little bit of what's on the lid, and it's also sad because in shipping, I didn't get that cute little poopy swirl. I'm just going to take a little bit on my finger, there's something in my eye, and put that on my lid. This is really moussey, and it's not like the type of cream where it's going to be an intense glittery cream. It's more so the type of cream if you just like to wear an everyday cream eyeshadow, you could just throw this on and then blend it out and you'd be good. I love the color. It's not too much of a brownie rose gold. It's definitely more pinky, but still really natural. Not like natural, but not bold. And I really like the formula. It doesn't crease too much on me. I do have an eye primer coming finally. I really needed one, but I don't know. It's just really nice for every day. It is a little bit pricey, but you get so much product that, in my opinion, it's worth it if you find a shade that you think you'll wear often. If it's a shade that you're only going to wear for special occasions, it's not worth buying a $30 single eyeshadow. So yeah, that's what that looks like. It looks a little bit better when I don't have something under it before I put it on, and also when I have a little bit of a better lighting situation. With the artificial lighting, it's sometimes hard for me to see what's going on, and I also can't really see what's going on camera because my viewfinder is like blurry, so I can see where I am and if I'm in focus, but I can't really see what the colors look like. So I apologize, but this is really pretty, and I will be wearing it more often on here or on Instagram, so you'll be able to see a little bit more. I'm gonna take the Darling palette now and just go in with this shade. I don't know what it's called. Just go into it a little bit and then just put this in my crease. This is what I did the other day. I really liked it. This colors really pair well together just for a really quick eyeshadow look. And you can also just use a brush and blend that cream shadow into the crease, and it'll kind of blend out a little bit of the shimmer and keep more of that base color, and you'll get the kind of same effect. I know Sam Ravindall does that. I'm going to go in with the second to last color, which is just a deeper pinky brown on a tiny little brush, and just put that in my outer edge. Outer edge? What is that? What is this place called? Outer V, I guess. Just placing it there, and then I'll go in and blend it just to get a little bit of depth. So I'm not a pro at eyeshadow, as I'm sure you guys have been able to tell through my videos, but I'm just taking the first brush and blending that out, and I think that's kind of where I'm going to leave it. I have my Tartelette in Bloom, which is in my project pan, so I've been trying to focus. I've been trying to use some part of this palette every day, even if I'm not using this for my main eyeshadow. Sorry, the lid is like broken. I'm just going to take the shade Charmer, which is that white shade, and just put it up by my brow bone just to clean up. If any colors got up there, it'll help neutralize that. I'm just going to take the shade Funny Girl, which is just a shimmery shade, and put that on my inner corner. Next, I guess I'll do my eyebrows. So, I've gotten a lot of new eyebrow stuff lately, but I think what I'm going to do is first I'm going to fill them in a little bit with my ABH brow pencil, just because this is in my project pan, and then I'm going to use the Patrick Ta brow wax. So I'm going to fill them in with the pencil and then be back to show you how the brow wax works. Okay, so I filled in my brows roughly with the brow pencil. Again, I'm not good at doing my eyebrows, but now I'm going to show you guys how the brow wax works, which if you have this, I've seen so many reviews about people not being able to open this easily. Here's the tip that I discovered. Just hold it backwards, so you're holding it like this, and then that way you get a good grip on the product, and then you can just open it like that. So I'm going to take a little bit of my ColourPop mist and do a couple sprays in there. I have the shade Tinted, and then I have my spoolie, which I angled a little bit, and I'm just going to rub it in the product. You guys can't really see. I'm going to rub it in the product and then just go in and push my eyebrows up. And I haven't like mastered this product. I don't know how to make it as good as everyone else does, but for me, I feel like it was really straightforward to use for how I like it. It's not gonna make your brows feel like glue. It's still gonna make them feel flexible when you touch them, but it's gonna keep them in the place that you put them because of the wax. But they're still gonna be like, you could still move them during the day if you go up and mess with your eyebrows. It's not like super glue. So I just brush them, and then I take just the side, which I watch Patrick Ta do, and just roll on my skin because it's gonna like laminate them down. Of course, I got it all over my foundation, but whatever. And then just go back and brush them up again. This isn't gonna tint your eyebrows. I've seen a lot of people mad about it because they bought the shade Tinted. It just means when you buy the shade Tinted, instead of showing up as like white stuff in your eyebrows before you brush it out, it's going to show up more brown. So that's where I'm going to leave my brows. Again, I'm not good at doing my eyebrows, but for how I like my brows to look, I've really been enjoying the brow wax. Okay, and I'm going to put on my mascara off camera. This is just the Essence Lash Princess, and I will be right back. Okay, so I just did my mascara. I got a little bit on my eyelid, but that's okay. I realize on camera this may look weird. Again, it could look different in editing, but I promise in real life I did the same exact makeup look and it looked a lot better. Just something about my makeup today, maybe it's because it's the end of the day or whatever, it doesn't look the best. But let's go ahead and put on a lip product. I'm just going to put on my Tower 28 Fearless Gloss, which is the purple one. I think this is what I wore yesterday too, so that's why the thumbnail probably looks different, because the selfie is from yesterday. This is more of a purpley gloss, but it shows up purple pink on my lips, so I think it matches. I don't know. I really love this gloss. Love the formula. Tower 28. I love them so much. This is the makeup look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to hear any other reviews on any of these products, or if you want any of them featured on my channel, definitely let me know and I will be sure to do that. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to thumbs it up, subscribe, all of that fun stuff, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!